Leave our healthcare system alone. Elderly nursing home resident challenges stunned Kamala Harris on bingo night as she demands to know who's going to pay for Medicare for All Plan B. Caitlin Corral, Use. Political reporter for DailyMail.com published 13:35 British Summer Time, the 13th of August 2019, updated 13:35 British Summer Time, the 13th of August 2019. A 91-year-old resident at a senior living facility in Iowa told Kamala Harris during a campaign event on Monday not to mess with the American healthcare system. The 2020 presidential candidate was speaking to residents at the Bigford Senior Living Center in Muscatine, Iowa when she was confronted by an upset Roberta Jewell. "Can I ask you a question?" she summoned the California senator. "I understand that you are advocating health care for everyone," Jewell prompted. "Yes, ma'am," Harris responding, bending down to the level of the resident's wheelchair. "Who's going to pay for it?" Jewell asked. "Well, we're going to pay for it, because right now, let me tell you something, we're all paying for health care for everyone and it's in an emergency room," Harris said. Jewell responded, "Not we not," to the candidate's proposal. "Leave our healthcare system alone," she demanded of Harris. "We don't want you to mess with it." Kamala Harris, a 2020 contender and California senator, was confronted by an upset elderly nursing home resident on Monday who wanted to know who was going to pay for a Medicare for All healthcare system. "Leave our healthcare system alone. We don't want you to mess with it," 91-year-old Robert Jewell Wright said to Harris. Harris was appearing for a campaign event during bingo night at the Bigford Senior Living Center in Muscatine, Iowa, to speak with older voters. They exchanged between the candidate and elderly Iowan happened in the middle of what appeared to be a common room as the residents gathered to play bingo. Harris, who regularly polls as one of the top 5 contenders, is one of the candidates running in 2020 who supports a Medicare for All plan, expressing that health care is a right, not a privilege. Her campaign website describes Harris' vision for health care as an expansion of Obamacare. It appears more than half of the 24 candidates in the running support some sort of universal healthcare system, with varying degrees of support from the single-payer method. The Democratic frontrunner, a former Vice President Joe Biden, however, says supporting a universal system like Medicare for All would get rid of Obamacare. "I'm not for that," the candidate, who served as former President Obama's No. 2, said. Harris made the stop there as she continued her tour through Iowa, centered around a visit to the Iowa State Fair in Des Moines last week. The candidate has been unclear about what she supports in terms of a healthcare system, at times suggesting abolishing private insurance and later claiming she would be okay with both a private and public choice. Days before the second Democrat debates in Michigan last month, Harris rolled out a new health care plan that would expand Medicare to all Americans and only raise taxes to help pay for it on households making $100,000 or more. Other candidates propose an alternative to the universal system, claiming that providing a public option would give people more choice regarding their health care coverage. Harris has needed to clear up her stance on Medicare for All. Previously she suggested she's supporting abolishing private insurance but later said she does not. Currently her plan says she would allow a choice between private and public Medicare plans. "I want to make sure your health care is the way you like it," Harris told Jewell at the nursing home. "So I'll promise you that I won't mess with the health care you have. Are you on Medicare?" she asked the 91-year-old, but her response was unclear in the video taken. Harris told Jewell, "I want to make sure your health care is the way you like it." She also asked if the 91-year-old was enrolled in Medicare and promised not to mess with the health care you have. Harris wants to expand the Medicare system to cover all Americans. Medicare, as it stands right now, is the health care program seniors are placed on who are 65 and older and qualify for Social Security. The California Democrats' plan includes a 10-year phase-in of the single-payer system, but she has ruled out raising taxes on the middle class to pay for this, something that progressive candidate Bernie Sanders, a huge champion of the single-payer system, has even conceded would be a necessity. She said she would support Sanders' proposal of raising taxes on the top 1% and forcing employers to pay an income-based premium to help pay for the government-run health care system. Sanders has said households making $29,000 or more would pay an additional 4% premium, but Harris says she would exempt households making less than $100,000 from that cost. "I think these are good options, especially making the top 1% and corporations pay their fair share through a more progressive income, payroll, and estate tax," Harris said in her plan. Who the 24 Democrats running for president in 2020? Michael Bennet, age on Inauguration Day 2021 to 56, entered race. May 2, 2019. Career: currently Colorado Senator, educated at Elite Street, Auburn's preparatory school, and was a Capitol Hill page before graduating Wesleyan and Yale Law School. Was law clerk and worked in Clinton's Department of Justice, then moved to Colorado in 1997 as managing director of billionaire Philip Anschutz's investment company. Was chief of staff to Denver Mayor John Hickenlooper, then superintendent of Denver Public Schools. Appointed to vacant Colorado Senate seat in 2009, held it 48.1 to 46.4 in 2010 and 50 to 44.3 in 2016. Family: married to environmental attorney Susan Daggett, with 3 daughters, Helena, Anne and Caroline. Was born in New Delhi while to diplomat father Douglas Bennett, who went on to be CEO of NPR and the Clinton Assistant Secretary of State. His grandfather, also Douglas, was an economic advisor to FDR. Mother Suzanne is retired elementary school librarian whose parents were Holocaust survivors. Brother James is editor of the New York Times opinion section. Religion: says he was raised with Jewish and Christian heritage, no known adherence, views on key issues, moderate, who does not endorse Medicare for all or Safard Green New Deal. Strongly pro-choice and pro-gay rights, leading to 2010 Senate victory. Pro-raising minimum wage. Wants citizenship pathway for dreamers. Would make history as first Colorado President. Joe Biden, age on Inauguration Day 2021 to 78, entered race. April 25, 2019. Career: no current role. A University of Delaware and Syracuse law graduate, he was first elected to Newcastle City Council in 1969, then won upset election to Senate in 1972, aged 29. Was talked out of quitting before being sworn in when his wife and daughter died in a car crash and served total of 6 terms. Chaired Judiciary Committee's notorious Clarence Thomas confirmation hearings. Ran for president in 1988, pulled out after plagiarism scandal, ran again in 2008, withdrew after placing 5th in the Iowa caucuses. Tapped by Obama as his running mate and served 2 terms as vice president. Contemplated third run in 2016 but decided against it after his son died of brain cancer. Family: eldest of 4 siblings born to Joe Biden Sr. and Catherine Finnegan. First wife Nelia Hunter and their 1-year-old daughter Naomi died in car crash which the 2 sons, Joseph, Bo and Robert Hunter, survived. Married Jill Jacobs in 1976, with whom he has daughter Ashley. Bo died of brain cancer in 2015. Hunter's marriage to Kathleen Boole, with whom he has 3 children, ended in 2016 when it emerged Hunter was in a relationship with Bo's widow Hallie, mother of the 2 children. Hunter admitted cocaine use. His estranged wife accused him of blowing the savings on drugs and prostitutes. Religion: Catholic views on key issues, ultra-moderate, who will emphasize bipartisan record. will come under fire over record, having voted to stop desegregation busing in 1975, to overturn Roe v. Wade in 1981, for now controversial 1994 Violent Crime Act, for 2003 Iraq War, and for banking deregulation. Says he is most progressive Democrat. New positions include free college tax reform, $15 minimum wage. No public position yet on Green New Deal and health care. Pro-gun control. Has already apologized to women who say he touched them inappropriately. Would make history as oldest person elected president. Slogan, working for America. Cory Bookeridge on Inauguration Day, 51, entered race, February 1, 2019. Career, currently New Jersey Senator. High school football star who went to Stanford or undergraduate and master's degrees before studying in Oxford as a Rhodes Scholar and Yale Law School. Worked for advocacy and youth projects and successfully ran for Newark, New Jersey City Council in 1998. Narrowly lost mayoral election in 2002 facing claims he was suburban and not black enough, ran again in 2006 and won landslide on radical reform platform for troubled city, including being tough on crime, cutting budget deficit, increasing affordable housing and tackling failing schools, controversially taking a huge donation from Mark Zuckerberg from the city. Ran for New Jersey Senate seat in 2013 special election and won one full term in 2014. Family, unmarried but dating actress Rosario Dawson. Parents Carrie and Carolyn were among IBM's first black executives. Brother Carey Jr. is education advisor to New Jersey's Democratic governor. Religion, Baptist views on key issues, self-proclaimed liberal. Endorses abortion rights, affirmative action, single-payer health care, criminal justice reform, path to citizenship for dreamers, federal marijuana decriminalization, $15 minimum wage, but has also spoken against tech regulation and for long-term deficit reduction. Would make history as first unmarried president since Grover Cleveland in 1886. Slogan, Together, America, We Will Rise. Steve Buttigieg on Inauguration Day, 54, entered race, May 14, 2019. Career, currently Governor of Montana. Montana native, educated at Claremont McKenna College, California, and Columbia Law, who worked for Montana Democratic Governor and Department of Justice before failed 2000 run for State Attorney General. Practiced law, then ran again in 2008 and won, using it to springboard to run for governor in 2012, winning 48.9 to 47.3, then winning second term in 2016 by 50.3 to 46.4 in a state which Trump won 56.2 to 35.7. Only Democratic governor to win re-election in a Trump state. Family, married to Lisa Downs, who was a year behind him in high school. They have 3 children, Caroline, Alexandria and Cameron. His parents, Michael, a teacher, and Margaret, a school board trustee, divorced when he was at grade school, and he has one brother. Bill, religion, Catholic views on key issues, vocal moderate. Wants Democrats to expand reach beyond the coast and cities. Not signed up to Green New Deal or Medicare for all. Warned Hillary Clinton against attacking coal mining in 2016. Says government has to afford taxation and spending commitments. Social liberal on abortion and gay marriage. Has shifted from gun control opponent to backing universal background checks and assault weapon ban. Would make history as first Montanan president. Slogan, to be announced. Pete Buttigieg on Inauguration Day, 39, entered race, announced formation of exploratory committee January 23, 2019. Formerly entered race April 14, 2019. Career, currently mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Harvard grad and Rhodes Scholar, who got a second degree from Oxford before working as a McKinsey management consultant and being commissioned as a Navy Reserve intelligence officer.
Elected South Bend mayor in 2011 and served in combat in 2013, won re-election in 2015. Family came out as gay during second mayoral run and married husband Jason Glesman, a middle school teacher, in 2018. Parents were University of Notre Dame academics. Surname is pronounced Buttigieg. Would-be first combat veteran since George H.W. Bush. Religion. Raised as a Catholic, now Episcopalian, views on key issues, has said Democratic Party needs a fresh start, wrote an essay in praise of Bernie Sanders, aged 17, backed paid parental leave for city employees. Other policies unknown would make history as first openly gay and youngest ever president. Slogan to be announced. Julian Castro, age on Inauguration Day, 46, entered race, January 12, 2018, at rally in his native San Antonio, Texas. Had formed exploratory committee 2 months previously. Career, no current job. Stanford and Harvard graduate who was a San Antonio, Texas, councilman at 26 and became mayor of the city in 2009. Was Obama's Housing and Urban Development Secretary from 2014 to 2016. Family, married with 9-year-old daughter, Karina, and 4-year-old son, Christian. His identical twin Joaquin, who is a minute younger, is Democratic congressman. Mother Maria del Rosario Castro was part of radical Third Party for Mexican Americans. Father left his wife and 5 children for her, but they never married. Would-be first Hispanic American president, announced his run in English and Spanish, and first ever U.S. president with a twin religion. Catholic views on key issues. Wants Medicare for all, universal pre-K, action on affordable housing, will not take money from political action committees, PACs tied to corporations or unions. Other views still to be unanswered. Would make history as first Hispanic president, first to be a twin. Slogan, One Nation, One Destiny. Bill de Blasio, age on Inauguration Day 2021 to 59, entered race, May 16, 2019. Career, currently New York mayor. New York University and Columbia University graduate who became a political organizer, working in Nicaragua in support of the Sandinistas, then a volunteer for David Dinkins' campaign to be New York's first African-American mayor. Bill Clinton appointee in HUD, then campaign manager of Hillary Clinton's 2000 New York Senate campaign, running for New York City Council seat the following year. Successfully ran for public advocate in 2009, winning high-profile city post, then used it as springboard into PAC 2013 mayoral primary, which also featured Anthony Weiner. Unexpectedly won Democratic field, then landslide general election, repeating it in 2016, 66.5 to 27.8. Terms both hit by corruption investigations into lobbying by DeNorse family, born Warren Wilhelm Jr. to German-American war veteran father and Italian-American mother Maria de Blasio, who divorced when he was 7. Changed his name to Warren de Blasio Wilhelm in 1983, then Bill de Blasio in December 2001. Married since 1991 to Charlene McRae, 7 years his senior, and a political campaigner and poet who says she identified as a lesbian in the 1970s and met the love of my life, married him. They have 2 children, daughter Kiara, who graduated Santa Clara University in 2016 and who has said she battled drink and drugs and mental illness, and son Dante, a Yale undergraduate. Religion, raised without religion. Now says, there is a Christian underpinning to a lot of what I believe, views on key issues, ultra-liberal. Trumpeted his plan for a New York Green New Deal in Trump Tower in show of support for ultra-progressive wing. Introduced universal pre-K in the city and pushed a wealth tax. Been hostile to charter schools and backed legalized marijuana. Spoken in favor of universal health care. Backs immigration reforms, including path to citizenship for undocumented. Spoke against stop and frisk.
Wider foreign policy and economic positions unknown would make history as tallest president at 6 feet 5 feet, beating Abraham Lincoln by an inch slogan. To be announced. John Delaney on Inauguration Day. 57 entered race. Filed papers July 28, 2017. Career, no current job. Columbia and Georgetown law-educated financial entrepreneur. Set up publicly traded companies lending capital to healthcare and mid-sized businesses, and was youngest CEO at the time of the New York Stock Exchange-listed firm. Three-time Maryland congressman, first winning election in 2012, announced run for president instead of running again in 2018. Family, married, father of 4, wife. Equal works for children's issues non-profit. Credits his working-class father's union for helping him through collegiate religion. Catholic views on key issues. Social liberal in favor of legalized pot and gun control but not single-payer health care. Fiscally conservative, would make history as first president from Maryland. First openly bald president since Eisenhower's slogan, "Focus on the future." Tulsi Gabbard on Inauguration Day. 39 entered race, still to formally file any papers, but said she would run on January 11, 2019. Career, currently Hawaii Congresswoman. Born on American Samoa, a territory is largely in Hawaii. She co-founded an environmental non-profit with her father as a teenager and was elected to the state legislature aged 21, its youngest member in history. Enlisted in the National Guard and served 2 tours, one in Iraq 2004 to 2006, then as an officer in Kuwait in 2009. Ran for Honolulu City Council in 2011, and House of Representatives in 2012. Family, married to her second husband, Abraham Williams, a cinematographer since 2015. First marriage to childhood sweetheart Eduardo Tamayo in 2002, ended in 2006. Father Mike Gabbard is a Democratic Hawaii state senator. Mother Carol Porter runs a non-profit. Religion, Hindu views on key issues, has apologized for anti-abortion and anti-gay marriage views, once marijuana federally legalized, opposed to most U.S. foreign interventions, backs $15 minimum wage and universal health care, was the second elected Democrat to meet Trump after his 2016 victory. Would make history as first female, Hindu and Samoan American president, youngest president ever. Slogan, led with love. Kirsten Gillibrand on Inauguration Day. 54 entered race, announced exploratory committee on Stephen Colbert's CBS show on January 16, 2019. Formal launch in front of Trump International Hotel and Tower, New York, March 24, 2019. Career, currently New York Senator. Dartmouth and UCLA law grad who was a high-flying Manhattan attorney representing big businesses. Says she was inspired to enter politics by hearing Hillary Clinton speak, although she is also scion of a prominent New York Democratic political family. Won New York's 20th district, centered on Albany in 2004, appointed to Hillary Clinton's Senate seat in 2008, and won it in 2010 special election 63-35. Won first full term 2012 and re-elected 67-33 in 2018. Family, married to British venture capitalist Jonathan Gillibrand with 2 sons, Theodore, 15, and Henry, 10. Father Douglas Lutnick was Democratic lobbyist. Grandmother Polly Noon and was at center of Albany Democratic politics. Religion, Catholic views on key issues. Initially pro-gun as Congresswoman, has since reversed herself to be pro-gun control and also pro-immigration. Said Bill Clinton should have resigned over Monica Lewinsky and helped force Al Franken out of Senate over groping allegations, in favor of single-payer health care and Medicare for all. Would make history as first female president. Slogan, Brave wins. Kamala Harris on Inauguration Day. 56 entered race, announced she was running January 21, 2018. Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Good Morning America. Formerly entered race January 27. Career, currently California Senator. Howard and UC. Hunter Law School grad who worked as assistant district attorney in Alameda County, California, then in San Francisco's DA's office before being elected San Francisco DA in 2003 and used it as springboard to run successfully for California Attorney General in 2010. Won again in 2014 and was at center of U.S. Attorney General and Supreme Court speculation, but also endured a series of controversies, including over police brutality allegations. Ran for Senate in 2016 and established herself on liberal wing of party family. Born in Berkeley, California, to immigrant Indian Tamil mother and Jamaican father who were both academics and brought up from 7 to 18 in Montreal, Canada. Dated married San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown, when he was 60 and she was 29. Married attorney Douglas M. Hoff in 2014 and has 2 stepchildren, Cole, an aspiring actor, and Ella, an art and design student. Sister Maya was a Hillary Clinton advisor and brother-in-law Tony West is Uber's chief legal counsel. Views on key issues. Social ultra-liberal who has rejected criticisms of identity politics, and is running without a political action committee, which will make her reliant on small donors. Has shifted left on criminal justice reform, supports Medicare for all, pro-gun control and anti-death penalty, says illegal immigration is a civil not a criminal offense. Religion, has said she was brought up in both Baptist and Hindu tradition, would make history as first female and first Indian American president. Slogan, for the people. John Hickenlooper on Inauguration Day, 68 entered race, March 4, 2019, with Good Morning America interview. Career, no current job. Wesleyan University-educated geologist who moved to Colorado to work in petroleum industry but was laid off and started Wingcoop Brewing Company, the first craft brew pub in 1988 in Denver's lower downtown area. Ran for mayor of Denver as an outsider in 2003 and then won a second term in 2007. Ran for Colorado governor in 2010 and won 51% of the vote. His nearest rival took 36.5%. Won re-election 49.3 to 46 in 2014, but was term limited and ended his second term in January 2019. Family, married to second wife Robin Pringle, 40, a vice president at Liberty Media Corp., owners of SiriusXM. Divorced first wife Helen Thorpe in 2012 after 10 years of marriage. Ex-couple have son Teddy, a high school student. Born and brought up in Narberth, in the main line of Philadelphia, his father's ancestors include Civil War Union General Andrew Hickenlooper. Religion, Quaker. Views on key issues. Voiced support for Green New Deal but has also been in favor of fracking. Has not embraced single-payer health care but expanded Medicaid in Colorado. Long record of being pro-gun control, pro-choice, but has gone out of his way to talk about reducing unplanned teenage pregnancies. Opposed to the death penalty. Advocated for gay marriage. Would make history as first Colorado president. Slogan, to be announced. Jay Inslee on Inauguration Day, 69 entered race, March 1, 2019. Career, currently Washington governor. Stanford dropout who graduated from University of Washington and Willamette University School of Law before working as a city prosecutor in Delaware. First elected to Washington House of Representatives in 1989 and again in 1990, won congressional seat in 1992 elections but lost in 1994 and then had failed 1996 gubernatorial run. Returned to Congress in 1998 elections and stayed until 2012 to run for governor. Won first term 51.5 to 48.5, re-elected in 2016 by 54.4 to 45.6. Family, born in Seattle to late parents Frank, a Navy veteran and high school teacher and coach, and Adele, a Sears sales clerk. Married high school and college sweetheart Trudy since 1972. 3 adult sons. Jack, a radio producer in Washington, D.C., Connor, director of a Washington state nonprofit for the disabled, and Joe, who works for King County, WA's Department of Natural Resources and Parks. grandfather of three religion, non-denominational Protestant views on key issues, running to combat climate change with praise for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal. His record